Hey, Brush Monkeys, Tom from Flying Monkey Studios here. I owe all of you viewers an apology because it has been brought to my attention that there are people that watch my videos on a regular basis and subscribe to my channel who are not actually miniature painters, which it never occurred to me that if this wasn't your hobby that you would still watch these videos. And so a lot of what I do is aimed towards people who are already somewhat familiar with that hobby. So I wasn't aiming it at people that watch it without actually being involved in the miniature painting hobby. So I apologize for that. Today I wanted to take a moment, instead of actually painting anything, to address that, first of all, and also to sort of address something else that was brought up at the same time, of why I don't paint on camera. Usually when you watch a miniature painting video, and you can see like this guy, and you see the guy painting on camera, and it's close up of the miniature, and he's painting on camera, and that's great. There's a lot of miniature painters that do that. I don't do that for a number of reasons. Number one, okay. Think of how best I want to say this without sounding like an old man who can't figure out technology. I don't know how to get my camera to fast forward through shots. Like a lot of times when you're watching someone paint on camera, that figure they're painting can take upwards of 8, 9, 12 hours to do. A lot of my miniatures, like even during quarantine when I was painting a miniature a day and doing a video a day, that was still 9 hours of work that you're seeing in that video. Which is still fairly fast by miniature painting standards. And so I don't want to have a 9-hour YouTube video because I can't figure out how to get the video to fast forward through where I'm actually painting. And there's a lot of videos that do that where he paints the entire time and it just kind of looks like he's painting really fast and there's a voiceover explaining what he's doing and that kind of thing. I don't know how to get my camera to do that. I don't know if it's this camera that doesn't have the setup to do that kind of thing. There's no button on there for recording high-speed video or anything like that. I'm assuming it's a setting in the laptop, but I'm old. I don't know where the fuck it is. I'm sorry. I don't know how to fix that. So that's one reason why I don't do it. The other reason is, honestly, I find watching someone else paint a little bit boring, and I don't want my channel to be boring to people. Kind of one of the reasons I don't self-center and I do everything in one take instead of doing multiple takes when I swear and things. But yeah, when I sit here and watch somebody paint, I can only watch somebody else paint for so long before I want to turn off the TV or the tablet or my phone or whatever and go paint and just go do the thing I've been watching them do it. It's kind of like when I watch the Rocky movies. I love the Rocky movies, but I can only watch that preparing for the fight montage before I'm like, I got to turn this off and go to the gym. I get bored watching somebody else do something that I can do, and I want to just go do it, So I know it's a natural human thing to project what we're thinking, what we're feeling onto others. And so I figure if I'm getting bored watching somebody paint, then other people must be bored watching me paint. And I know that's not necessarily the case, but that's how I look at it. Another problem with my painting on camera is simply one of my setup. And that's why I'm doing this on the webcam instead of this camera and then editing it later. So I wanted you to see the setup I use when I'm painting. Okay. So first of all, when I'm painting, I tend to use magnifiers. So I've got these are some clip-on magnifiers that I got from Micromark catalog. Micromark is a fantastic catalog for modelers. They've got a lot of little miniature tools and whatnot. And they just clip onto your glasses like that. And they look like this, a little dorky. But when you're not using them, you can flip them up. Okay? And then flip them back down when you're painting. So like when I go to the wet palette, I flip them up so I've got the depth perception necessary to get the paint on the brush. And then I flip it down and start painting. Okay? The problem with these things is it does rely on my depth perception being a field focus of about this far away. Now, when I'm shooting the segments for the video, you can see I've got this camera on this swing arm. See if I can get this a little more in the frame. Yeah, okay. That was aggressive. So yeah, I've got this swing arm that's bolted to my chair. And essentially all it is, it's a microphone stand. Okay. It's just a microphone arm that I've got bolted to the chair, and it allows me to move the camera down in front of me like this when I'm talking about something, and then I can pop that open, and I've got the figure in front of me, and that's what I'm talking about, okay, while I'm recording. And I can see the little viewfinder here. Now the thing is, when I've got this in front of me, the camera lens is here. The viewfinder is over here, okay? So I keep wanting to move things in front of the viewfinder, but that means they're not necessarily on camera. So like take this wizard for example, just to see. Right now he's on camera, okay? Right now, let's see, right here he's pretty well centered up on camera, okay? And you can see he's kind of right dead in front of the lens. Problem is, when I'm painting, I tend to want to move him in front of the viewfinder, which puts him over here where I can see, or I look up over the top of the camera and then I'm lifting it up, and now it's no longer on camera. Now you're getting a picture of the handle here instead of the figure. Now, when it's down like this, you know, I'm just going to go ahead and pause all this and then turn the table around, and you can see the rest of my setup, and you'll see what I'm talking about here. Alright, so this is pretty much how my setup is. When I've got the camera up out of the way, then when I'm painting usually right about here. And I've got the viewfinders on. I can see okay, and I'm painting from a distance of about this far away. Alright? I know it's kind of hard to see with that lamp in the way there. This lamp is going to be the death of me, and I can't seem to figure out how to get it the hell out of my way, but okay, there we go. So I'm painting of a distance of about this far away. Okay, this works for me. I can see what I'm doing. I can see all the details and everything. I can see how the miniature needs to be turned and all this kind of thing. Now with the camera in the way, now I've got the camera right here, right? That's sitting right over my shoulder. It's now far enough away that I'm kind of relying on the lens of the camera to be, I've got my viewfinders up, I'm relying on the camera lens to be my zoom, and I can zoom in a little bit if I need to paint, but like my depth perception is thrown off because I'm trying to hold this thing in front of the camera while at the same time I'm looking at the viewfinder off to the side, so I'm not looking straight on at the figure, and this is a little bit of a weird view for me. But this is the biggest obstacle to my painting like this. However, that having been said, because people want to see how the painting goes, I'm going to move this back up. Because I've had people ask me to show how the painting works and to actually show the painting on camera, next week and the week after, I will attempt to do just that. I'm going to try to actually paint on camera. And that's what we have these little wizard figures for. I bought 2 of these. It's the same figure. It's Darius the Wizard from Reaper Bones. And I've primed them white because I wanted nice bright colors to pop out on them. I'm going to be painting him similar to to Merlin in Disney's Sword in the Stone, because I thought that's what he looked like. And the reason I've got 2 versions of him is because I'm painting one the traditional method with the base coat, turn around, the base coat shade wash and highlight, and then the other one will be done with contrast paints, and they're all going to be done on camera. I'm going to have this thing in front of me the entire time I'm painting. The way I'm going to do it is going to be a little different. I'm not actually going to paint the entire thing on camera. Okay, I'm going to show each technique as I'm talking about it. Like when I talk about base coats, I'll put brush to figure, paint a little bit of it. You'll see how that paint goes on the figure, okay? And then I'll cut away, come back, and I'll cut away, finish the entire thing, and then come back. And I'll talk about the next segment, like I normally do, where I talk about what I'm going to do, and then I go off and do it, and then I come back and show you what it looks like when it's done. Except this time I'm going to show you what I'm doing. I'm just not going to do it over the entire figure. And then I'll cut away and come back and show you what it looks like. I'm going to do that with both of them. So hopefully you'll have a little bit better idea of what I'm doing while I'm doing it, and what the effect that you're looking for is going to be when I say, hey, look at this, this is what it looks like when it's finished, and you're like, what the fuck did you do? You know, it looks different, but I can't figure out how. Now you're going to be able to figure out how, and be able to see what I'm doing. So, anyway, that's pretty much it. Having the camera in front of me kind of screws with my depth perception a little bit. We'll see next week and the week after how bad it really is, whether or not that really messes with my depth perception. Hopefully it won't. If it does, you know, if it does, now you know why I don't do it on all the videos. So I don't think this is going to be a regular thing of my painting on camera, but you'll have a better idea of what I'm doing while I'm doing it. At some point I will also probably do a beginner series where I walk you through getting into the hobby to begin with. We're picking out your figures, picking out your paints, your tools, your brushes, everything you need to know about that kind of thing. It'll be a whole series of them. It'll take like 2-3 months to go over the whole shebang. But that's really all I'm looking at there. That's the magnifiers that I can see with get in the way of the camera, and the camera gets in the way of being able to use those effectively. So each one is kind of mutually exclusive. That's why I don't paint on camera. And like I said, I just find it boring to paint on camera. So, but yeah, for those of you that are joining us without actually being involved in the miniature painting hobby, hopefully the next 2 videos will give you an idea of what I've been doing and what this channel is about. And we'll get you started. I know most of you probably aren't looking for a new hobby, but this is kind of addicting. So, you know, like I say, first taste is free, and don't get high on your own supply. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next week. Bye. Hey Brush Monkeys, Tom from Flying Monkey Studios here. If you like what you see, click like down below. If you want to be notified when new videos come out, click subscribe. And in the meantime, if you want to see how to add one of the miniatures that we've painted on this channel to your own collection, check out our Instagram, Tumblr, and Patreon sites. If you want to support us in doing what we do, check out my Patreon site, check out my merch store at storefrontier.com/flymonkeystudios. You can get t-shirts, sweatshirts, long sleeve shirts, hoodies, all kinds of stuff there. Go check that out. And in the meantime, thanks for watching, and I will see you next week. Bye.